Okay, real quick before we get started, we had a board meeting before this that we could have recessed on, so now that we have enough people here for a forum, we are going to open that. We have Leah, in addition, we is board member, we have Jay Riggers, first vice president, and we got.
Information, are you holding a board meeting now?
You don't have the chair.
I'm asking you a question, important information takes precedent. Are you holding a board meeting now?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. First motion to vote for Secretary Lisa McKnight. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Nikki, a second. All right. Any discussion?
I don't know the candidate. Hi,
Please.
Hi, I'm new to the neighborhood. Sorry. I was a secretary, treasurer, and vice president of my old community in Virginia, from the HOA community. Not unlike this, but it was 100% gated community HOA. I lived there for 6 years and I occupied those positions for 3 years. I'm extremely organized. I'm new here and I was hoping that if I could get on the board, that maybe I could get to know some people and maybe make some friends and get to know new people.
Lisa, can I ask you a question? How long have you lived here?
Not quite 2 years. We have accepted.
Welcome to the neighborhood. By any chance, did you receive a welcome package at the front door?
No,
Did you? Oh, it's okay.
we don't really know any of our neighbors. We have an Airbnb across the street and our neighbors to starboard are only there on the weekends and we've only met them once. And so we were hoping, my husband and I were hoping that we could make some friends and maybe help out. I'm extremely organized. I'm very willing, I'm very capable, I'm retired. I just retired. My kids are all grown. Thank you. It's been a little bit of a rough transition for me. I'm used to being very busy. And we love this community. And we just wanted to come in.
Where'd you move from?
Oh, I'm a chef.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm actually a real chef.
Mention you
I'm not famous.
lived on the boat, you guys traveled.
Yeah, lived on a boat for almost 4 years, traveled everywhere. And before that, we lived in North Carolina, before that Minnesota, before that Virginia. My husband was a marshal. So he got moved around and so it's really hard, especially I just turned 60. And so I turned 60 in April.
April what?
April 6th.
Oh, that's his brother's birthday.
So you're a youngster here.
Well, it's just really hard to make friends and sort of establish a community at my age. I know a lot of people have lived a long time in one place and everybody knows them, but we don't know anybody. And I was hoping if we could get on the board, I could get to know people.
Yeah, she's like secretary. She's previously been secretary, president.
And vice president and treasurer.
And she does,
My husband has a master's of computer sciences.
and she also does the channel
Oh,
really well.
I do.
And she's super
And
organized.
I know Robert.
Normally what the secretary does. So she's. I mean,
And I have Dragon Speak on my computer, so I don't have to. Oh,
That's fine.
she's been using text to type since like 2010,
a long time.
a long time.
I had the first cell phone in my community. So, and that's how old I am. I remember when nobody had cell phone. So I'm hoping that you guys will like be enough to vote me on and let me help. I just want to help.
You're very needed.
Is there any other questions from the board members real quick? So, all right,
Thank you.
we'd like to,
Nice to
yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank
So,
you.
motion, I'd like to motion to
vote.
vote, I need a second. Yeah, Rick is second, and then all of us in favor say aye. Okay.
Please.
Danny Breeder left, so he's not on here. I'm talking on my phone. So we got secretary. All right, and yeah, congratulations. I got you.
Thanks, Mike.
Because I really need a secretary.
Do we don't record.
Well,
Yeah.
we're at board right now because of the recess. Yes, we have a quorum. We needed 5, 9. The other person we have is Ziggy for board member. And what I like about Ziggy, he has good stuff, like fix stuff.
Yeah, I moved from Massachusetts. I was working for 15 years with town. I was manage all the town buildings. So I retired from that. We moved here almost 5 years ago. And same thing like Lisa, trying to just get in the community, just find friends, because it's so hard. Looks like everybody for themselves. It's like, well, I mean, we don't see.
I have to ask, what's your second language? What's your first language?
I'm originally from Poland.
Poland. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
speak Polish, sorry.
I noticed you didn't have that Massachusetts accent.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome.
Welcome.
thanks. I'm actually almost the same age as Lisa. I just turned 60 2 weeks ago, May.
That's not required, but.
Happy belated.
That was a big one.
I have one question.
Yeah.
How many members are we allowed on the board?
The total, we are allowed. 6. Well, there's 6 board members and then there's president, vice president, or first vice president, second vice president, secretary, and treasurer. That's total.
11.
Yes,
So how many would that be if we had Margot back to on?
it's still, Margaret's up for the next vote,
Yeah,
so we would have to vote on Margaret.
right, but would that give us 12? Still,
No, he's a board member, so we would still have the position open for second.
okay,
6 board members, so Zeke would be the 6th one.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And Michael's
so then we have,
the executive.
so here, hold on. Let me make sure, let me see who we. Okay, so we got. 11. All right, okay, so are there any other questions? We're taking on the board members real quick, because I didn't want to hurry up.
I don't think we could hear what you do for a living or what you did do.
What I did, I've been for a long time in the construction,
Construction.
doing for the city I live in. That's where I was manage all the properties, all the buildings,
Oh, the city building.
these buildings, yeah,
Good job.
yeah. And then I did private, a little bit of small construction.
Which specifically, what was great about him is for our facilities. So we kind of. Or, so the main thing with him for the facilities, if he can help anyone with that, just because I'm not always available. And we just, lately, it seems like several times a week, there's something happening all the time. So it's the more people that we have that can help that better. Because Ingrid was stressed out. It's the best way to put it. Oh, yeah, well, actually, I haven't, you can ask a question, but I haven't, sworn you in.
Let me know what we.
You have a question for Suki?
Yeah.
Okay, are there any other questions for Suki? All right, so I motion that we approve Ziggy as a board member. Second. All right, Clark is second. All those in favor say aye. The board members, all those, any board members opposed that are here? No, okay, so unanimous board members on them, okay. We also have an issue, Margot, we previously elected her by email underneath our bylaws, we can only do it. We're only allowed to do over email, we're only allowed to do certain financial considerations. And so we have to, one, vote on Margot, but then we also have to vote for anything that she did in the past. So then it's retroactive and we're legally covered. So that way, if she was like a deciding vote on something, if we didn't have authorization to spend those funds, that's that. So, all right, so we got Okay. I mean, I can. If you want, we can either take a recess and I can swear them in, or we can vote now. Vote now. Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, so everyone's very familiar with Margaret. She has a lot of experience. She's been very helpful on just about everything. So, she does have a lot of experience there, and I really cherish on that. All right, so motion to vote Margot. Motion, do we have a second? No, a second. Okay, all those in favor, say aye. All right, so we got Rick, we got Clark. Me, there's Vicky, and there's Una, and then Frank. So you are now officially first vice president or second vice president. I'm less than be first vice president. All right. So, all right, real quick for the board, I just want to get through these real quick. I'm going to motion to ratify all official action and board votes taken by Margaret Geary in the capacity as second vice president from the 20th of February to 2026 to the present. Can I get a second on that?
I second.
All right, Rick second. All those in favor say aye. Aye, unanimous consent. Also because we moved around Leona and Patty at the time, positions by email, we did not do it at a board meeting. Had to do the same for them real quick. I move to ratify official actions and board votes taken by Patty Brown, or an executive board votes taken by Patty Brown, acting in the capacity of secretary until the end of her resignation. I need a board member to second that. Una seconds that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Unanimous. All those opposed? Sorry. All right. Okay. I also move to ratify official actions and board votes taken by Leona Penrod, acting in the capacity of the board to the end as acting capacity of a board member to the end of her resignation. So all those I motion that. Una seconds. All those in favor, board members? Aye. All right. So that is unanimous. Well, anyone opposed, just in case I got that wrong. Okay. And then don't think of any other business on that. Again, Dave was not here. Justin, Rick, Clark, Fran, Una, Vicky. All right, motion to adjourn for the board meeting. Una seconds. All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous. All right, we are adjourned. All right. I apologize. We've had a hard time the past month getting everyone together. It's all over. So I will get you guys, if you end up leaving early, I'll update you in the next day, but if not, take that. All right. Okay. Okay. So David, so first I put that.
Hey,
So
we going back?
all
All right. We need to hear you.
okay. All right. So call to order and determination of quorum. So we have approximately 82 members. We have more than 8 members here, so we do have 10% of a quorum. Just want to say welcome. I'm Justin, president of Valley Hotel. I believe I know all faces. I've seen you before, but I don't know your name.
Dottie.
Talk to you. So I should thought of that.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to pledge allegiance to the flag real quick. That's for everyone can stand up. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you. Okay, now what I would like to do is, we have to vote to adjust the agenda. That's because in our bylaws, it says a very specific way we have to do it. To change that, we have to vote to, so I'm gonna motion that we adjust it to what is on here currently. All those, if you have a favor, do I have a motion? Second. I'm all over the place. I am changing the agenda format
Okay, just-
to what is written on here so we can allow her to present for the rest of the. So she
I second.
all right, Fran seconds, all those in favor, these are all members. They get a vote, so all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? We have no one opposed, all right, so, thank you, Courtney.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, and Vicky suggested you, and wow, she was just so enthusiastic. I honestly didn't know we had 4-H still going on. So I'm actually excited. You don't see a lot of kids here. We have a lot of kids starting to show up in our neighborhood.
I think your support and since I know her, I think at the, Florida, center, I center. I'm putting her with the Master Gardening Program, and that's how I got to meet her, and I became an intern at the Master Gardening certification. And it is to her, and she was doing 4-H. She even needs adult volunteers, but she's an incredible seamstress, and they have fabulous, classes and summer camps for ages from 5 to teens. And I highly recommend it for your children and for your grandkids. And she's awesome. 5 to 10.
Oh, it's hard to follow that up. Hi, everybody. My name is Courtney Foley, and I am one of 2 4-H agents here in St. Johns County. Please raise your hand if you have heard of 4-H before at some point in your life. Oh my goodness, that is a great show.
I was in 4-H.
Hey, I was in 4-H too.
Heard others. I'll never forget it.
I was in the So Good Club in Duval County. And Duval, yes. But now I'm in St. John's.
Cory, I just want you to know that you have a customer here. She has kids.
Fantastic. So 4-H, we've been around for a while. We're an international organization. I might be saying a bunch of things that you already know because I saw a lot of hands go up, which was really great. And we've been around since 1902. And what we look like has changed as times have changed. We have AI now. We didn't have that back in 1902, just as one example. And in St. Johns County, like I said, we have 2 agents. We're really lucky to have 2. A lot of counties, if they have a 4-H agent, they only have 1. So 2 and a program assistant. So we have a very well-staffed 4-H department. What do we do in 4-H? Great question. Yes, we do indeed do livestock and the agriculture thing. That is our root. We are still doing that. Just a couple of weeks ago, I think, we wrapped up a corn project out in Elkton. And I went home with so much corn, and so did our families. That was a tri-county project with Putnam and Flagler counties. So we are partnering with our neighbors. And we, in the state of Florida, we are, as my shirt suggests, we are a partnership with the University of Florida, one of our 2 land-grant universities. The second one is FAMU. So you could meet some 4-H people that are coming out of FAMU. We're both land grants. We both have the 4-H thing. Huzzah. And because we're a 2-agent county, so there's me and the other me and my colleague Julia, who isn't here this evening, we slice and dice roughly who's going to be the point person on what. So depending on what your interests are, we have a person that is more knowledgeable about that, be it myself or Julia. So I cover more of your traditional home economics type topics, your sewing, your cooking, that's me. But if you are here more interested in the environmental sciences, you're more interested in shooting sports, that's gonna be Julia. I also cover our animal science programs, and that includes our equine programs. And we have some really awesome equine youth here in St. Johns County, equine being horse. We have a horse drill team that they just celebrated their inaugural year. They presented the flags at our massive horse show that has horse riders coming all the way down from Ocala and all the way out as the farms corners of the Panhandle. And our kids were the ones that presented the flags, which I think is pretty cool. And we also have a very strong record of youth that hold office at the state level in the statewide youth council, the state council, executive board for 4-H. So we have some pretty awesome youth. So I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys that. You guys already know that we've got some pretty cool youth here in St. Johns County. And we also have some really awesome volunteers. Volunteers are the backbone that allow us to do what we do. So here's my spiel to try and get you to check us out. So how do you get involved in 4-H as an adult? Obviously, it looks a little different. You're probably not going to be a member of a club because you are what? An adult. So you would take on a role more. So as a leader, that is one option. There's many different ways that you can get involved with 4-H as an adult or as a youth. We do, of course, have the traditional club that you might be more familiar with, where they have a business meeting, much like you guys just wrapped up your board meeting for today. And then we have what's called a project club. I lead the sewing club, the Busy Bees. We've been around since I was about this big and counting. As long as I'm in St. Johns County, we will have Busy Bees. So that's probably gonna be a good long while. And the project clubs, we dive straight into the thing. So with the sewing projects, we immediately start sewing. We show up, say hello, here's pattern, let's go. And we have a very strong quilting group here in St. Johns County. Of course, there are many different guilds and organizations throughout the county that do quilting, but in St. Johns County 4-H, we have a lot of youth that are quilters. And we also have a good smaller number of youth who do garments. I'm a garment sewist myself. I've been sewing for over a decade, and I've got volunteers that have been sewing for longer than I've been alive, which means we have so much knowledge just in this one club. But this isn't the only club that we have. We have youth that are doing robotics. We have youth that are doing forestry, youth that are diving straight into public speaking. We have youth that are doing all sorts of things. We had one youth that this year, she dove into entomology and got second place for her first time insect collection at the statewide insectathon, which I think is pretty awesome. So youth can go many different directions, and adult volunteers, we're always looking for judges. We have many different contests that we do. We also are, of course, always interested in building up our clubs and in supporting any other things that we might be doing, such as workshops. If you have something that you're passionate about, you love insert subject here, there's probably a kid who wants to do that too. And they can't do it without someone like you to help make it happen. And in 4-H, something that I think is pretty cool, especially in today's day and age, as people are much more vigilant about who is interacting with and who isn't interacting with their youth. All of our volunteers have been background screened. And if you're working with a youth for under 10 hours, we don't do fingerprints because there will be somebody there, at least two someones, that are fingerprinted. So we know that whoever is interacting with our youth is someone that is like hashtag confirmed, they're good to be there. And that goes for 4-H across the state, not just here in St. Johns County. So if life takes you into another county and you might want to check out, see how they do their 4-H, because we do look different from county to county. Whoever is in that county, same as here. They've all been background screened. They're good to be interacting with the youth. So that's something that I think is really awesome and a major selling point that I think sets us apart, along with the fact that every single year our volunteers renew their training. So that way they kind of know what's going on. If there's been any changes in legislation, which I think this last year we did have some changes in legislation around youth protection, they're kind of getting a brush of what does that look like now? What am I responsible for as an adult in charge, as a chaperone for these youth? And of course, we have the county level. Here in St. Johns County, we do not have a county fair. Once upon a time, we did. It's no more, which means that all of our clubs, yes, we might have some more animal science clubs or more traditional agricultural-based clubs, but we can also dive into much broader topics because our focus isn't necessarily, I must get this cow ready for the show. The cow is going to the fair and I need to get it ready. That's not really our focus. And that isn't to say that that is not a good focus. That's just not necessarily what we are doing. because we do not have a fair. That doesn't mean that our youth can't go to one of our neighboring counties and show at the Clay County Fair, the Jacksonville Fair, etc. They absolutely can. And we have youth that do. But here in St. Johns County, we're looking at us. And I did mention that we do partner with our neighbors, and we also go across the state. So 4-H grows with the youth, and as they get older, new opportunities become available to them. So if I have a 5-year-old, they're not going to the same event that my senior, who's 15, 17, is going to. Their brains work a little differently. I'm sure when you were 5 and when you were 17, your priorities were different. So for our Clover Buds, our younger youth, I co-lead that club with a person from the community. And we do a lot of exploration, try to see what all could 4-H be. So that way, maybe they decide, oh, I really liked this rocketry thing. Let me see if I can do more of that rocketry thing, which we did do rocketry this past year. Versus for my older youth, when they become, I believe it's at 13, they have an opportunity to go to a retreat to focus on leadership skills, because we are very interested in helping our youth develop soft skills that wherever life takes them, they're equipped. They're going to be competitive when they enter the workforce. They're going to be good humans. They're going to be able to give back to their community in a meaningful way and help themselves to thrive. That's kind of a lot of what's going on in the back to bring us to wherever we are. So when they get to that ripe old age of 13, now they've unlocked I Lead, which is that retreat. And then when they get older, when they become what we consider a 4-H senior, they can go to this 2 really awesome things. And one of them's happening, I think, next week. One of them is called Legislature or Ledge. 4-H Legislature is a week-long event where the youth, they go to Tallahassee. They sit in the Senate and they take on those roles for a week. We have our governor, we have our speakers, we have our lobbyists, our public, all the things that are happening at this legislature, they do it for 1 week. And like just earlier this week, there was an email sent out from the person who's like the head for the lobbyist team saying like, hi, these are our priorities and this is what we're doing and blah, 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 blah. And they've sent out what the bills are going to be that the youth are going to be debating and figuring out what does this look like? Like, yeah, sure, I might see it on TV, read about it in the news, or I see it when I'm scrolling. But now I'm in the grid where it happens. And I think that's incredible. Then for all of our youth to have an opportunity to brush shoulders and see what does this whole state government thing look like, we have a 1-day only event called 4-H Day at the Capitol, where youth from across the state, from our 5-year-olds to our 15-year-olds, our exceptional students that are up to the age of 21, they all have an opportunity to go to the Capitol, meet their elected official, and anybody else that we're able to set them up with a meeting for. So this past year, our delegation of youth and our adults that were their chaperones, they got to go and meet their senator. I believe they also met their member of the House, the agriculture commissioner. They got to meet all of these people and tour the facility. And if they're lucky, session might be happening and they might get to go watch it, which is pretty awesome. And that one's really cheap versus Ledge, that's much more expensive. And then there's 4-H University, which that is another week-long opportunity for our oldest youth, our ages, I believe it starts at 14 and goes through 18, and they are at the University of Florida. They are eating in the dining hall. They are staying in the dorms. They are going to workshops led by professors, led by professionals, led by people working in the field, people that just know a lot about the thing. And for youth that compete in our contests at the state level, that's happening there too. I'm the chair, I guess, for our talent show called Share the Fun. So I get to do some cat wrangling and help those kids get prepared so that way when it's go time, they're up on that stage doing their thing, be it air guitar, ventriloquism, singing, dancing, juggling, whatever. But that's just some of the things that they're doing when they get to be that age, when they can run to be on the state senate, oh my goodness, state council, which we've had youth that were on that state council from being president to parliamentarian and everywhere in between. And that's in recent history. That's not 10 years ago, that's last year. That's this year. That's 2 years ago. So we have some awesome youth that are accomplishing amazing things. And of course, I am biased. If you haven't figured that out, of course they're paying me, but I grew up in this 4-H thing. I went to school, I got my degrees, which are in art history. I got my bachelor from the University of Central Florida. And then I went to Case Western Reserve University, which was just recently, like in the past 2 weeks, identified as one of the new Ivies or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I got my master's degree in art history and museum studies. Like I said, I've been sewing for over 10 years. I've been leatherworking for 2 years, maybe a little. But
Wow.
yeah, and it's Latigo, which is a leather usually seen with equine pack. But I just thought it looked pretty because I'm really fancy like that. So that is a lot of information that I just threw at you about 4-H, about myself. Does anybody have any questions, or should I just keep on yapping? I want your hand first.
When do your camps close? Can any of these people still join your kids join your camps?
I'm about to say, I don't know that anybody in this room can join my camps, as of course it's adults over 18. But if you
I'm sleeping.
yeah. Oh, I'm so happy birthday, 5 years old. Yay. So if you have any youth in your life that you think might need to go check out this 4-H summer camp thing, our camps will close either 2 weeks from the start date or when they are full. And we have a brochure that, of course, I did not bring with me because I came very well prepared, as you can tell, that you can find on our website with hyperlinks to check it out. And if you're looking at it, or you're checking out all these things I mentioned, like I mentioned that 4-H at the Capitol is pretty cheap, but then legislature is not. And they haven't told me to stop saying this, so I'm going to keep saying it. If you're paying full price for anything in 4-H, you're doing something wrong, because there is almost always funding available. Almost always. And we might need you to do a little something to get the funding, but you just talk to me, my colleague Julia, my colleague Kelly, and we can start discussing funding options. What is out there that might be applicable to you or the youth in your life to help them get and achieve whatever their goal is. They want to go to 4-H University? Great news. This year we're paying the bill for everybody. That is $520 thing free. And that is because of the very, very gracious support of some of our supporters, the Boyd siblings.
So
Yes.
the programs that you have, do they run for 1 week, 1 month, or how are they structured, more or less?
Yeah. How are our programs structured? How long are they? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. It depends on what it is, which of course is not the easiest answer. So workshops, that's going to be our shortest thing. Those are ranging from 1 hour to maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours if we're cooking and we lost track of time. Not that that's ever happened. Or it could be a spin club, which is short for a special interest club. So if, let's say, you want to do a club that all that we are doing is focusing in on this contest, we're going to meet 6 times and then we are done. So that would be 6 times. That could be 6 hours total if it's 1 hour each time you meet. We have our traditional clubs that are going to be from September through May. So during the school year, our volunteers are empowered to select what days they meet, how often they meet. Is it once a month, twice a month, every single day of the month? That is in the hands of our volunteers. And what hour that they choose to meet. They're meeting at 8 a.m. Okay, go crazy. Meeting at 10 p.m. We might need to discuss some things. But there's that for our summer camps. This year, it's very variable depending on what the camp is. We have on Monday, I did a Clover Bud, so my 5 to 7-year-olds camp. That was just one day and it was 6 hours. But I did our sewing camp last week, our beginning sewing camp, and that was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 9 to 3 every day. So it's very different based off of whatever the thing is. In the brochure on summer camps that I lovely didn't bring with me, just visualize it in your head. It's beautiful. It'll tell you what the time is. Yes.
Is this information on your website?
Yes, our website is, honestly, I just always Google St. Johns County 4-H and there it is. They redid the website links and then I forgot what they all were. So that's what I do. And you can find what our contests are, what our, how to get involved, different events that we might have going on. My email along with Miss Julia's or Kelly's. I also have my business card in the back if you prefer having a business card. And it'll have my lovely name on it with my email and where to find me Monday through Friday. Don't try tomorrow. I won't be in. Friday, we are closed. But otherwise, we're there. Yes.
What does 4-H stand for?
What does 4-H stand for? That is a great question. I should have started with that. So, yeah, my goodness. So the first H is head. The second H is hand. Then our heart. Then our health. Once upon a time, here's some fun trivia. There was another H, and it was hustle. And I think it'd be really funny if we brought that back. But it's head, hands, heart, and health.
Right.
Yes, we have a pledge that, especially before our traditional clubs that have parliamentary procedure and all of that jazz, we do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we do the 4-H pledge. The 4-H pledge being, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. And that is our pledge that we do. You'll hear it at, again, our traditional club meetings, our awards banquet, which is coming up, and many other events. We'll open with that and then proceed with whatever is going on. Yeah. Yes, and I should probably speak a little bit more about contests. I'm sorry, I'm yapping. Is this cool?
Is there any other questions or you all right?
Okay.
Good.
So we do have contests. Some go from county to district to state. Some of them stay at the county level. Some go from county to state. So, and that's all just different based off of whatever the contest is. In 4-H, I'm not sure if this is actually the official title of the way that we do our scoring or if this is just what we call it. It's called the Danish system, where the youth are not competing against one another. They are competing against the rubric. So they're competing against themselves to do the best that they can against the rubric. And that means that it is entirely possible for multiple youth to all get the highest color ribbon, our blue ribbon. It's also entirely possible that no kids get the highest color ribbon and they're all reds or whites and everywhere in between. So it is competitive in that there is going to be a ribbon and they are going to get a score, and the highest score might continue on to whatever the next level of that contest is. But it's also not competitive because it's not cutthroat against me and my buddy. It's me versus myself. So the way I can do better against me. How was I last year versus this year? I've been working on my public speaking skills, and last year I got a red ribbon, and all my feedback was saying that I was really bad at eye contact and I was really bad at projecting. okay, I've been working on that this year. What does my notes say? I love feedback. I love critique. And I think that's one of the best things that the youth get out of because they get their score sheets back that the judges have written all over, and they can see that feedback from the judge telling them those things that they might want to work some more at, or the things that they're doing good. I'm like, hey, you did awesome at your knowledge on the subject matter. A+. So, yeah.
So if anyone has any other questions, they can email.
Yes.
And
Yes, if you have any questions, you want to talk to me more, or if you just want to figure out more about this 4-H thing, great news. You can find us online 24/7, 365, and you can find us in person Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. And you can find us also on the phone those same hours. And my email is going to be my first name dot my last name, so COURTNEY.TOELLE at UFL.edu. That's my email. If you want to learn more about this whole shooting sports thing, Julia, the other version of me, she literally wrote the book on archery for the state of Florida 4-H. I think that she needs to wax poetic about that a whole lot more because I think that's really impressive. And so if you want to do the archery thing, I've got a lady that you need to talk to. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. If we have any more questions, I threw more at you.
Oh, thank you. That was awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me. Again, if you have any questions, want to learn more, if you have any critique for me, send me an email. And I won't be in tomorrow, but I'll see it on Monday.
I know
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you are free.
Okay.
There's also food back there, so if you're hungry, please take some.
I just had some Panda Express.
Yes.
A lot of salt, not healthy.
Hey.
Oh, come on.
I ran a 5K last weekend. I'm doing great.
Salt.
So just so we can all get home at some point here. Real quick, president's report. Few things, which I'll go over in a minute. We've had issues with our air conditioning. We've had them out twice. And the vents were actually warped. And I haven't been able to approve those invoices yet, so we're gonna have to vote on one of them, and then potentially the other one I'm still waiting for the amount. But we needed them, otherwise it was getting like 80s in here, and Ingrid was just going crazy. Luckily, we got them out here right before we had a wedding yesterday. So that's one thing. We're putting a new lock on that door. Other than that, not too much. That's not in the business. Secretary's report. Again, we do not have one. We do not have a secretary. However, you can email me for a Zoom copy of our report, and then hopefully here in the future we'll be able to get them all written up. But then we have a more official documentation. So unfortunately, we don't have that. Treasurer's report. We have that. I attached it right on here. Town Tommy's out of town. If you have any questions, you probably are gonna have to ask him, but Fargo may or may not know. Does anyone have any questions on the? And there's not a motion to approve the secretary's report. Okay. For the motion to approve the treasurer's report. Do I get a second? Okay, I got Patty Brown seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right. Unanimous on there. Okay. Went a little bit over facilities and grounds. We do. I'll go over that here in a minute. Okay, so we did have a problem with the executive board getting a quorum for these, but we were able to get that taken care of today, so that's no longer really an issue. that we need to discuss. It's just we have business to take care of, so thankfully, again, it's us. You have no idea. Oh, goodness. Okay, also, this is our last, so don't put much forward through on that. This is our last meeting until September. We're still going through trying to find a CPA. We haven't been able to get all the information, just because we have to profit and loss statements and those haven't been done. So in order to give someone to get the quote, what I would like to do today though, is actually get a vote for authorization and pay up to $5,000. It's probably not gonna be that. Right now we have authorization $1,000 to pay a CPA once they give us a quote. Otherwise, I cannot ask if ask the bill memberships if you want a specific number. I can call a special meeting and we can do it that way. So I motion that I'm putting together a motion that we approve up to $5,000 to pay a CPA regarding the past 3 years. Discussion or yes.
Yes, my question is, the last meeting that we had, we discussed the possibility of having the phone books to find out how much it would be before we ask the membership to give.
We're still waiting on those numbers. My main thing is we weren't gonna have another meeting. I can only approve funds over $1,000 in general meetings. So if we have the amount between now and September's meeting, that means that I'll have to call a special meeting, so then people will have to come just for that one thing.
So for the 30 days that, since the prior meeting, nobody has.
No, Margo, do you have something?
Well, I have a question, but I can
Okay.
answer Uma's question.
Okay.
Yes, I reached out to 3 different CPAs, one of which is this Jarrett Rice that's mentioned in, Justin's agenda. But my question was gonna be, have we determined that taxes are owed at all?
That is what we're supposed to give a professional review, but we can't until we actually give them all the information on our things, then we can't. Margo was in correspondence with someone. She was actually very nice and willing to help us and actually do the initial part for free to get all the information together. But last time Margo said that you were still in the profit and loss.
Well, no, I kind of stepped back because I wasn't on the board, as you mentioned, that's having.
And we weren't able to get a session today to actually get approval from Margo to be back on the board, so she corresponded and stuff until today. So that's sort of the issue, because I asked for files, I wasn't able to get those files. I just got the raw files, which I started scanning. I wasn't able to get QuickBooks, and so if I were to give all that to someone, they're gonna charge a lot of money to go through each little thing and enter into.
Well, Mr. Rice was reviewing everything for a vote until such time as he determined that we needed taxes.
Mr. Who?
Jarrett Rice, isn't that who you and I were both in correspondence with, or was that somebody
Yes,
else?
yeah, it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, he agreed to review everything for a bono
Yeah.
until such time as he determined the taxes needed to file.
Yes, and so we were waiting on that. Margo stopped correspondence, some work on that just because she didn't have authorization for it. So now that she's on the board officially, she's able.
Okay, so I'm going to propose that Margot can do the research and then when we resume in September, since you were on the back burner for all that time to catch up.
That's not a motion, is it?
Well, I mean, you can, so the motion I have right now is just discussion, and then we can adjust my motion.
Right.
Do that.
I like pro bono, I heard that back there.
That's the route we were gonna go, but then if they determine that we pay taxes, I want to actually be able to get stuff done. After we go through that,
So why don't we,
the main thing
what's
was,
the smart approach, just do that? And then see if there's anything to worry about,
It's in this law.
maybe.
but potentially, yeah. And what we could do is if it comes between then, I could call a special meeting if needed. And we can even have people vote electronically. The general membership's allowed to send an email on
Is
those
that legal?
things. Not for general membership. They're allowed to send electronic email on any votes. Special meetings have to be on just one particular topic. So I got to put the motion out there on what that is for the general meetings, and then they would have to, they could vote. Yeah.
I just had a comment. I mean, because I've had a lot of financial issues in my life and owned a business. It's much easier to have the kitty of money. And then you talk to the CPA rather than do it kind of ass backwards where you're asking them for a price, but you don't have the stuff together and you don't know what they're looking at. And then you gotta go back and have a general meeting to okay the funds, and then you gotta go back to them. And in the meantime, they figure, we don't want to be bothered with these people anymore. I mean, it's kind of better to have, to talk to somebody, to know you have some funds to pay them and let them get the job done and end this, because if we do owe taxes, we don't know if we do or not. Let's figure it out and move on.
All right. Okay, so. Right now, we're going to vote.
How about more questions?
Okay, yes.
So. Are we just doing an audit? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to do an audit? It just,
If we also, we eventually have to still pay the tax, this person's been nice enough to say that they will go through a certain point that they'll do for free, but after that, we're gonna need to continue.
what difference does it make between now and September at this point? I think
Well, if
that-
we owe the government money, we're charging interest.
Well, but we don't know. We're making assumptions right now.
We're not gonna spend the money if we don't need to. That's all I'm saying, is if we get there, like, the money is just approved and it just sits there. And if we don't need to spend it, it's not spent. It's just that we already have the approval because we have to go through that process.
So
yes.
what is the assumption, $5,000 being a number, maybe it's 7,000, maybe it's 2,000.
Well,
Assume
because-
it's gonna get you through the next few months.
It's up to 5,000, that's only because that's the maximum amount I am allowed to ask from the board without then getting 3 bids.
But I don't understand why you would approve 5,000 if you don't even know whether it's 2,000 or 22,000.
Well, if it was only 2,000, we would only spend 2,000. We're not gonna spend 5,000.
Right, so.
And if it's over 5,000, then I have to, if we get if we get said, it's, we're gonna find out 4 or 5,000, it's 22,000.
Yeah,
But then we'll have to stop. And it's gonna have to go through a whole other group process. Well, it's just,
So you can spend $2,000 without approval.
no, I can only spend 1,000. That's what we're approved for right now.
Okay, so that may get you started, but I just don't know where you just, so why don't we just approve 50,000?
We can't approve
We don't know what, we don't know what.
Well,
it
we
is.
can't approve 50,000 without getting 3 bids. And honestly, then I would actually have to have bids come out. As opposed to right now, I can ask up to based
Well,
on.
why don't we wait till we get this to take a map and maybe.
Motion that we change it.
No, I'm saying
On your motion, I will vote against.
All right, so, yep, we got discussion.
This is discussion, right?
Yep, we're still in discussion.
Kind of had my hand up for a while back there.
I'm sorry.
You can't hide that.
But you gotta talk, we're not talking.
So as far as discussion, we've been discussing this on the board for months now. And we keep going back and forth with this money and nobody has approved it yet because there's always more and more discussion or people don't show up for meetings so that we can talk about it anyway. So at this point, I second that we, I'll allocate $5,000 at this point.
Okay, real quick, let's make sure. Is there any further discussion? No,
I
okay.
say no.
All right, so I motion that we approve up to 5,000 with the understanding that we're being frugal. I mean, when it's not gonna expense, we don't need to. But it goes up to, and we're probably gonna have to. I'm guessing, so. All those in favor or, yeah, let's.
Do you want to do my votes?
Is that a board vote or is that a?
We're all general. So, one household, okay, so, all those in favor say aye, or just, we'll go through one by one. So there's me, and then I have, hold on real quick. And
I have all the names here.
3, 4, 5. I have 5 proxies right here. That's total 6.
I have 5 plus myself.
You got 5 proxies,
I have 5 proxies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus myself.
okay?
You can't get a proxy from a board.
No.
You're a voter, but you can get a-
Hmm?
you're a voter.
And then yourself, Rick, Shy, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Or any more, who else is I or? Is it, are you voting for the motion for 5,000
Yes.
or we'll just go for victory? No,
I think.
it's the motion, it's the motion to the fire. Okay.
I didn't get one of those papers.
You get the internet.
Do you have it?
Yeah, okay. All right.
You need to.
Okay. Okay.
Name.
Okay. Okay.
See,
Margo?
he's waiting.
Plus myself.
To be,
And then
yeah,
1, 2.
you've already guessed, yeah.
Okay, Patty,
Nay.
okay, and we got Sue,
Yes.
okay, and
Dottie.
yes,
Yes.
okay, so we have 17 to 15, so the motion passes.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. We still have more. Let me go back to. All right.
Thank you, Dottie.
Okay, now here's another thing, this is just for us to pay the government. Now. I looked it up, but it's not really considered our money. It's not something we actually have to vote on to pay our taxes, but at the same time, this is if we go through this process, and let's say this is done beforehand, they determine this is the amount we owe. A professional will determine that. We can't get bids on that, so I'm not sure right now. I'm just, voting to authorize that we pay our taxes to the professional determines it. It's the motion.
Why don't we wait until we're told?
Well, right now
Yes.
we have a motion, you can just say that.
Well, my question, I have question.
Yeah.
The motion is very
It's on film.
both taxes, if we owe the taxes, we have to pay them. It hasn't even been determined that we.
We didn't have another meeting scheduled then.
It's a lot cheaper.
No taxes right there.
That's it.
It's, legally, yes, but I'm still trying to. Count all things.
Shoot finger tax.
I mean, that's, so it's, I am just trying to make sure that I'm following. So my understanding, but I have not had enough advice outside of myself to really say confidently that, we don't have to present. So I'm just, again, trying to make sure that we cover our bases. It's important to me that we do. Is there any other discussion on that vote? This is if you have a professional and permanent. Okay,
We need more clarification on that motion. I don't understand it.
if we owe taxes, this is the vote to pay for that. If the professional that we hire determines that we owe taxes. And it's reasonable. I mean, if it's something that looks like something's wrong, then we'll probably talk to people and see if we need a second opinion, but if they determine we owe taxes, I would just like to get their tax.
I have a question.
Yes,
Might sound stupid, but, so the general membership can vote not to pay the taxes?
well, I mean, we can hope to do a lot of things we're not supposed to. Potentially, no. Again,
Is what this is?
normally,
Pay or not to pay?
well, they could potentially. They could potentially vote to delay. It might end up that we don't, it's not really our money to control. So it is my understanding that we do not have to get a vote on this. I'm just trying to be extra judicial to make sure, because our bylaws don't say that specific tax part. So I'm just
trying to understand what we're voting.
I'm just trying to make sure any time we spend money on something, it needs to be approved. And anything over $1,000. So I'm just trying to ensure that, yes,
Or comment, so
Yeah.
that's for your own discussion. Is this discussion?
yes.
Okay, yes. Just some of the things I was looking at. I had basic taxes. Maybe an attorney could possibly, not the sort of CPA, help us negotiate those taxes, where I'm not sure if CPA could.
I think then a tax professional would give us the advice. We'd have to go back and ask.
We can show to like the tax people after the CPA.
Yeah, but then I have to go back to the membership and ask for authorization for someone else to do that, or the board potentially.
Right.
On that. So, any other questions for the motion for if we owe taxes, we pay them? As a professional says that, I know it sounds confusing. This isn't something that I've ever had to deal with because the business owner and everything else keeps paying. So it's a bit. I'm in a different
It
position.
makes more sense if you were gonna say, if we pass the old taxes, do you wanna, do we vote on paying them, getting an extension or something, but to vote on paying taxes, of course, we're gonna pay
We're all gonna
taxes.
be arrested if we're not paying. Yeah, if you do
I
the
mean,
motion, but I don't even know what's
We
happening.
can, I know, but I agree.
I mean, when the grass is getting too long, you cut it, do we have to have a vote should we?
I mean, I put a motion forward, so we do have to have a vote. So if we want to end the discussion, we can just vote now. So I vote that if the professional doesn't, all right, I need a second.
So,
We got,
Yeah, so.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Do we have anyone opposed? All right, yeah, that's, okay. All right, so we have that. I know. This is because it's territory that I have not gone into before. It's also because we run a rental, you know, it creates all this other parts than membership. Just, okay, all right, all right, so here's another one. I would like, first, well, I have a motion to post all secretary minutes and Zoom meetings, and that includes boards, board meetings as well as, general on the website. I would also like to put on to there, I mean, I'd actually like to modify that at the agenda, but before we can do that, we got to have a discussion.
So can I just say about, when I went to, every quarter, I do a welcome package to all the people that move into the neighborhood. And I got, I passed out 31 closers that closed in our neighborhood. Of the 31 welcome packages, 29 were families with, either the mother was pregnant or had toddlers, really young children. And there were 2 seniors, probably my age, maybe older, but yeah. So the young people are moving into the.
So this has to do with promotion, though.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
because I can't stay too long, because he's going to the hospital.
I know. First, yeah, I would just like to pause for a second. I don't really pray, but I am praying
I
hard.
would be worried if you're praying.
I'm praying hard for you. Because it can't hurt. And if it hurts, I'll stop praying. But, I know you're going in tomorrow and
I'm going in at 5:30 and I'm coming out at 5:30 in the afternoon and I'm going home.
That's what I, yeah.
very, very, very thankful.
So.
All right, so we continue. Is there, again, a motion to post our secretary minutes within meetings? I would actually ideally like to, well, I can actually already post the agenda. And this actually, as well, discussion. Question.
On what?
I would like to post our general and our board meetings on Zoom, so there's an open record along with the secretary minutes.
I think that our board meetings probably should be for the board.
Okay.
That's my.
I disagree.
All right,
that's my,
is there any other discussion on that? Before we vote on it? Or, so it's a vote to put,
Transparent.
all our secretary minutes and then our Zoom recordings of, after the fact, after they're approved. After, you know, because we have to approve. This is how the county does it. So the only thing that would be excluded by law is anything called, executive, closed sessions or like if we're debating something that had the
So the
contract.
board meeting
legal,
would not be,
the board meetings would be included.
would not be,
No, they would be included.
well,
They
that's an
would-
executive session.
It's the kind of session, I'm not using the right terminology at the moment. Executive session is actually when if we were to have a board meeting, an executive session is the board goes during that meeting, go to executive session, it's a closed meeting. Okay. We don't actually go into executive session. We're only supposed to go into executive session for things like legal contracts, or if you're going to court and you're having to talk to a lawyer, or you're having to do something that's privileged information. But our regular board meetings, people can request copies of them legally
Right.
and everything else, but I would just like to just slap everything on there once they're approved. So, it's like a month afterwards, along with the secretary minutes. Just so then we have that on there, then just a little transparency on that. Is there any? Yep.
Can they not be requested anyway? Any board member can request the information?
They can, but I think it's just good for us just to put it out
All right,
there.
I just have one thing.
Yes.
It's not that I object with it, but I think, so this has to be brought up to, Ingrid, if we can even, keep them on there as long as the website can handle it too, right?
Oh, no, we're good. I do. The website along with Ingrid, so.
Well, this goes out to the general
This will
membership
be on
to
our
look at
website
it,
for people to look at.
For anybody to look.
for anybody to look at it, that's a member.
And if there's any
Okay.
privileged information on there, so if there's privileged information that we would not want on the public
Oh.
during our board meetings, we would need to go into an executive session.
Oh.
For recording for that stuff, but this is just normally what happens. Like, this is what the county does when they have their commissioners meetings. Everything's happened. This Tuesday, when they went to executive session, said go talk about a loss. And then they did. So it's out there and then, everything. So
Yeah.
that's what that is. And then, we've had talks about transparency in the past, and I think it's just gonna cut back. Like, we don't, if people are saying we're not transparent, then I don't know what. It's just putting it all.
Okay, so do you need both? Do you need minutes and Zoom? Why don't you just do Zoom? Why do you have that minutes?
It's recorded so that
Oh.
everyone can go on the website.
Because the Zoom is just the recording. The minutes are actually the things that we approve afterward. So it just is like a synopsis of the most important information for people. So if they want to go through 2 hours or something, they can. Honestly, they just might want to know, hey, when was this voted on? And
Just why don't you just put the minutes there?
just because I think, I'm trying to follow
All right.
like the county is what I'm trying to do because
We're not the council.
we're not, which is why we have to.
We're
vote
a
on it.
neighborhood.
Which is why we have a vote on it right now. Is there any other questions, discussion in it? Okay, all right, okay, so I motion that we post all secretary minutes after approval and do meeting on the website for our agenda and our board. Excluding anything legally that we're not allowed to put within executive session, which is a very specific period of time for very specific.
So when we're discussing something in the board
Yes,
and it happens to be an executive thing. So we're all gonna go like, oh, we're in an executive right now. Let's not record it.
we actually have to, well, we still have to record for our thing, but we have to
Right.
actually go
So
into
my
the
question
actual executive session.
Who's gonna determine what's,
Robert-
something that you.
Robert's rules has a list of things that would be considered executive session. It's mostly contracts and lawyers. So
So-
court cases, something like that. It's any sort of privileged information that is legally privileged.
And then we're gonna have like 54 emails going like, that's not privilege. No, yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
I would
And so on
rather
and so forth.
deal with that because again, Robert's rule says what it is. We just follow that. That's according to our bylaws. And then, we're not really choosing what's privileged or not. It's already written down.
We
People
can't
do this
agree
all.
on Zoom. We cannot even agree on Zoom. What do you mean?
Well, okay, we can't bring that into this motion, no,
Right,
on it, good.
I'm just trying to make a point.
I understand, it's something that the membership and everything can, if they want to vote, to change it in the future. They can. So, that is what we do, this is democracy. If choose. So, all right, any other discussion, otherwise, motion?
Well,
Yep.
only that, because I was on the board a long time ago and I know about, the board and how it works, it seems like as a neighborhood, what could possibly be discussed that is so secretive that you're worried about having it on a website? I mean, this isn't exactly the CIA or the Pentagon or.
If there anything is, it would go underneath executive session, that's just, and we're
Right.
given examples of what those are.
Right, and everything else should be, information that everybody should be a party
All right.
to,
So,
part of the neighborhood.
I motion that we post all secretary minutes, through meetings, both general and, board, again, the secretary minutes after they're approved. Because that's what you're supposed to do. All those in favor? All right, so we're probably gonna have a vote, like a total here, I'm assuming. So do we need to go through? Okay. I mean, good. All right, so I'm gonna go, and then I got,
Can I amend the motion?
okay,
Well, 6 total, including me.
that's included. Okay. Yep, all right. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Anna. Stu. Stu, all right, that doesn't count. It can count. No, I got it. Okay, let me get Margot. How many?
11 counting me.
For, against?
4.
4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1.
It's unanimous.
That's 8, 9, 10, 11. Who next?
I'm still no.
Okay, and there's no. No, Patty's no. Okay, it passes, 28-2.
All right, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so if that is open, Zoom and the minutes,
Mhm.
does that mean anybody can then attend a executive board meeting, the first meeting of the month?
So I would actually like them to, but that's something as a board, we have to, it's called standing rule.
Oh, okay,
And so the next time, yeah, and I do need to call the board meetings, we gotta prove some invoices coming up.
okay, so then why don't we just skip the board meeting altogether at the first of the month and just do one meeting like we're doing that?
It'd take a while, but there would also be we would agree to certain rules in the board meeting where the people couldn't necessarily talk during it. They could observe and stuff, so we can still conduct it without all the interference, but that's something that we can decide as a board to vote on for the standing rules.
Kind of like the 4-H kids.
Yeah, he knows the parliamentary rules probably lots better than I do, so. You would like to be a parliamentarian, people might hate you. But
I have primarily project clubs. So I'm not actually as well versed as I could be. I have a copy of Robert's rules in my office. It's okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, all right, okay, so that passes, but that's something as a board that we can decide to allow. I think it would be good if we let people come. We can talk about that. It's. Or
That's for next day.
Do you have any more items there?
I do, real quick, so real quick ones, this is just because I need to pay this and we couldn't get real quick, can I do this motion, Patty?
Go ahead.
All right, so, so far I got one invoice for Air Masters, but I'm gonna have another one. The other one, I do not know if it's over $1,000 or not. It did not tell me. We had to have these for the air conditioner. They had to redo all the ductwork. The first time they came out a few weeks ago, I haven't been able to get this through the board, but I just need motion for approval for $348.75. All those you second it? Owen seconds. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
But we
Okay,
don't need all these motions.
they don't.
We need one for all.
I'm just trying to make sure that I can come home. I can pay this, otherwise I gotta wait 2 things. Okay, the other thing is, I have one that's coming up. I do not know if it's over $1,000. If it's over $1,000, I need approval from here, so I would just like to get approval now. I don't think it's over, but they couldn't tell me. All right, second, all those in favor say aye. All right, so that passes unanimously. Okay, here's another one. Ingrid and myself have been looking at a robot vacuum and mop. But let me just talk about how much it probably costs.
500.
It might be 500, it might be 600. There's a sale going on. I got the same model for 500. So I would like to approve up to 700 with tax, but they go through each night. It vacuums, it mops, it puts it into reciprocal, like it, you know, you have to go empty it once a week or so. But stuff gets really dirty after each time. So I think it's well worth it. And it's a model, UFI model that I got. So motion to purchase that up to 700. Again, it's going to be less. I'm waiting for prime. All right. I'm sorry.
I said I'll second that motion. I'll make the motion.
All right. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay. This one don't necessarily need, but I just want to research how much it's actually going to cost to take up this floor, take up the asbestos, and put down potentially tile. This stuff is coming up. It's ripping up everywhere along the edges. I just want to research this so then in September, if we need to, we can get edged, just because we could replace all the pieces, but I really think that we're just going to keep having issues. Someone tripped on one the other day, so I just that's potential for that.
Or it's an issue just like the roof. So.
Yes, and there's something with there was water seepage coming in beneath, so I don't know what that would do. This would actually be.
I actually witnessed that with it was concrete floor.
Mhm.
And you can't put this down on top of what really is a stream.
Yeah.
It was wet.
So it would actually be whatever bids would get would be to fix that issue. I was not the professional, but it would be to fix that issue, would be to remove the other flooring, waterproof everything along so we don't have moisture coming through.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at some sort of tile that they can use still. It's good for dance and stuff, but something that should last decades. Yes,
Square feet, whatever.
I do not know.
Well, I make a motion that we check it out.
That's all. It's
For once and for all, we've been talking about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to get approval from us so we can go look into it. So then in September, we can come back and we can come up with a game plan and everyone can vote. So, all right, all those in favor, or a second, a motion, that we do that. Rick, second, all those in favor, aye. Aye. Okay, all right, any additional, motions, comments, questions on other matters that anyone has to bring up?
I have a question.
Can we go back
Okay,
to concerning the inability of executive board to get quorum and potential solutions? You never went over the potential solutions other than we voted in.
because we were able to get it on.
But there should be other solutions if we can't get a quorum.
We would have to change the bylaw. So the only things we can do if we can't get a quorum is members can resign, members can be voted off, or we can change the bylaws to allow lower quorum to don't necessarily think is a good idea. But right now, the only solutions I would have had really are to ask people to resign so we can lower the threshold. Have our membership during a general meeting vote people off. There's that. There's also the extreme case of courts can remove someone if they're not doing their job. There are things that we don't normally have to get to because we actually have a full board now. Part of the problem is Tony and Jerry Sue have been traveling. And so they've been gone and not able to make it. And Una's traveling quite a bit with her and you've had health issues. So it's like we've just had like the perfect
Storm.
and we badly needed secretary, someone good with organization, agendas, all that stuff. So when she came along, I was so happy because it will help us be much more efficient. The same with Ziggy. We've had a lot of issues here, and Ziggy's familiar with all the flooring and all that stuff. So someone like that, I really want on the board so they can sort of do that as well. And then luckily we have Frank who's familiar with everything as well. So I think now with 11 people, we're unlikely to have the same issues with the quorum because we have enough. We have a good enough people.
Well, even with the absences, if the board members could vote over Zoom, you would always have a quorum.
Yes, and we tried to put that bylaw through last time, but we had to change the bylaws for that. So, I mean, we can vote on that same bylaw that we had last time. We can vote if you would like on that bylaw, but it does take, I want to say it's 2/3. It takes 2/3 yes to pass it, the bylaw. And I would have to read out the bylaw. We can learn. All right, so is there anything else? Thank you.